Boxing fans, welcome. I got for you in this video is the review of Undisputed, and right away I gonna say, do not really waste your time on this game. At least for the moment, do not get it. The reason is because this game is actually broken, and I will tell you the reasons why now. So stamina is a big problem just because you don't get tired. It don't really matters if you throw a lot of jab or power punch. You don't get tired. So what happens is when you get, online, the player, they're only gonna, do power punch. So by the end round, they don't get tired, and there's not really a strategy because of that. Because players they use and abuse this system. So there's a problem because you're just gonna, constantly see players just spam power punch, power punch, power punch. And there's nothing really that you can do since power punch are kind of, I would say, even broken, because if you throw a punch and you get countered by a power punch, you're going to get in trouble. But the thing is, because you don't get tired, it just is a spam best. You know what I mean? Like they're only gonna use the power punch. So I would feel because of that, the stamina is actually kind of broken. You don't get tired, and actually not like it. Another thing is when they lost, they can just close the game and nothing happened. Like there's no penalty for leaving the game. So I would say, the online, this game is actually kind of trash for the moment, just because players are, abusing this system. Plus, if you try to play on heavyweight, another problem is on heavyweight they use Wilder, because Wilder is overpowered, and the hook of that character is actually crazy, and you're gonna lose because it's not really like always you're gonna lose, but it's kind of annoying when you actually fight players that they're not gonna to use the strategy. They're just gonna spam the same attack over and over again, and there's no penalty, right? They're not going to get tired because there's only 8 rounds. This game, when you play online, there's no 12, only 8. So I think that's another problem with the game. Another thing is the roster of the game. The roster is kind of small, to be really honest, and they actually take fighters like Ryan Garcia that was in the game, and now in the finished supposedly product is not. So I will wait to December, because on December they say they're gonna release the first big patch, and they should fix a lot of these problems, but I don't know about that. But I will wait. If you really want to buy the game, I will wait. Now, what about the gameplay? If the gameplay is actually bad, not really. Now the game looks great. Every fighter looks how they're supposed to look, and the gameplay is fluid. I think, the reason that players are playing this game is because 2 reasons. The feeling that you actually feel like a boxer, and it has pretty good footwork, and the counter punch, and just the gameplay itself is actually pretty solid, and it's the only boxing game that we have, right? And I feel like if we actually have another boxing game, I don't think this game it will be actually that successful because of that. But I feel like, for me, the gameplay is what hosts this game. It's actually, pretty good. It's pretty solid, and every actually fighter feels different, even in the same weight class. So if you play the say Canelo, you're gonna see the difference. It has, its unique animations. That's actually pretty good. And if you actually play someone like Crawford, you're going to see the the difference of how they fight. So I actually think that's actually pretty good. And of course, if you play a heavyweight, you're going to notice the difference. And if you play a flyweight, you're going to see the difference. And not just see, feel. And that's the best thing about this game, just the feeling. Now you actually can do a lot of combos. And for example, you can do a jab, you can then do a hook, uppercut, go to the body, and you actually even can cancel your attack. So not every attack is just 100% committed. So if you think you can get hit, you actually can retreat, and if you do it properly. But the moment, I would say, the moment of the game trying to evade is kind of floppy. I don't like it. It's kind of slow. So I would say that be on the defense in this game is kind of useless, just because you can be blocking, but if you get hit by a power shot, it's going to get past. So I don't think I agree. But I would say just the gameplay himself, they have a solid base. I don't think it's the best, but it's actually pretty solid, and I would like to see, hopefully we actually see improvement of the game. There's actually one thing that hopefully they remove it, and you actually can stagger if they actually do a lot of attacks, and I don't like it because everyone just spam attacks. That's the problem of the game. Plus you can actually get stunned if you get by a power jab. I think that's actually kind of stupid. I don't think that should be in the game, but they say they're going to balance it and they're going to remove a lot of this stuff. So hopefully by December the game actually should be better. Now what about the campaign? So there's actually a single player, and honestly the campaign is not that bad. I would say it's actually kind of like simple, but I like the base what they create in the campaign. So you actually go through, you know, the way that you choose. So I choose lightweight. You actually can become the Undisputed, so you actually can have off the belt. I think that's actually pretty cool. Now when you actually fighting, you actually have your team. So you got your coach, you got your manager, and you got your medic. Now there's no mini games like in Fight Night Champions, like nothing like that, but you actually can have your team, and there's different variations of characters, and they have their own traits, and they have their own like stars. Now that is actually okay, but for me it's like when you start with your, you know, beginners, there is no reason to stay with them. You know what I mean? Because by the end of the game you will look different, like coaches, like managers that are actually better, and there is no a mechanic in the game that allows you to choose those that are weaker and make them stronger. You should play, you know. Now, and that's my only thing about that, but I guess, you know, we have to deal with that. Now, another thing that the game has is every time that you fight, you actually can have you have a contract, and you can change the rules. Now, no, they are not the rules of the fight itself, they are just rules of the contract. For example, you can make more fame, more money, you can switch for the arena, you can actually have a rematch, and it's actually pretty cool. They actually can decline and just cancel the contract, and the fight is actually over. So I actually like that. I would like to say about this is when you do actually a rematch, it's the same. So if you win or lose, there's a rematch. If there is actually a rematch, and the rematch is the same. So let's say you win and you want more money for the rematch, you cannot allow that. So you can change nothing. That's my only problem with this. I would wish that we actually have, and you know, that you can change a little bit of stuff when the rematch, but nothing else. Now, when you actually going to fight in that weak camp, you actually choose a camp, a gym. Now there's no mini games, like I said before, no mini games. You just see a screen. It's kind of boring, to be really honest. You just increase your stats and you can go to the media, but you see nothing. For me, I wish we actually have like mini games and you can see your character, you know, doing this stuff and going to the media. I think this will actually make you more invest. You need to manage your weight and your sharpness. So because you can actually lose a little bit of point. Honestly, I wish we had the mini games, to be really honest. I like some ideas. I just think they go for the easy route for me. Now, another thing that I don't like about the campaign is you cannot switch between weight. Now, I get it, but still, like you see some fighters go up and down, and in this game you can actually not do it. Hopefully that's a, you know, a update that they did. I would like to see it. I think it makes sense, but it's something that you cannot do right now. So that's another thing that like, I was a little, you know, disappointed. But I think, you know, the campaign is actually sorry. It is there, you know, it's there. But you actually can play with the CPU. You actually have prize fight. This are like you can do some mini challenge. But I feel like the game lacks a little bit of content, and I think that's my biggest problem. That's why I feel like this game is unfinished, because there's not a lot of things to do. Yes, you had a campaign, and the campaign can take you a while. It took me like 20 hours, you know, for the campaign. Like it's I would say healthy, but it can get really boring if you know like the gameplay. Hopefully, I do enjoy it. I think it plays actually really good, but maybe for a lot of players they don't really play the campaign, it's the multiplayer, and unfortunately there's not a lot of things to do in the multiplayer just because how broken has a lot of rewards. Honestly, I enjoy my time. I would wait if I was you to December to see, but uh, I enjoy it. I think it's a solid entry, to be pretty honest, but it doesn't try nothing new. That's my complaint. Everything here is solid, but nothing amazing. But hopefully you enjoy it. Having a good day, and peace out. Thank you for watching.